I just remember. It had something to do with the concept that we are living a simulation. I've heard this argument being made sometimes that from a mathematical point of view, we have a higher chance of be living in some simulation than the actual real world. But a lot of people say they don't believe it, but they don't actually have a argument. They simply say something like it doesn't feel like the case. Me, on the other hand, I may be talking shit. I don't really have a lot of knowledge in this area, but the reason I don't believe we live in a simulation is because the way I see it, it takes energy to run a computer, right? And the more demanding tasks you throw into this computer, the more energy it demands from the grid. Let's say we are the original reality and we create a perfect simulation of the entire universe and everything in it. It will cost a certain amount of energy, right, to do this? So we do it. We create a perfect simulation of the universe. And then inside this simulation, mankind creates its own simulation of the entire universe. The fake mankind, if you know what I mean. And then, when that happens, wouldn't it take the same amount of energy to run that simulation? So the first computer that is now running two simulations of the universe will take at least double the energy that it initially was running to keep running, right? Because it's gotta simulate both universes now. Because everything that the first simulation does, it costs the real computer, let's say, the real computer and the first simulation, and then the second simulation. And that's assuming that is a perfect transfer of energy. Like two simulations will simple double the consumption of energy, when it most likely be even more energy because it won't be a perfect one-to-one ratio. So now the second simulation evolved to the point that the mankind in it created its own simulation of the universe. On the simulation. Now the original computer have two outputs, or maybe not outputs, intake 3 times the energy from before. And so on and so forth. So it would eventually get to ludicrous amounts of energy required, to the point that it would simply be impossible to keep creating simulations upon simulations. So that's basically why I don't think we're in a simulation. I mean, it's not that solid of a point. You can argue just, well, it doesn't need to be infinite. We might be living in a few of the existing simulations. And I won't really have a point against that. I don't really know.